Imagine that you have a very fancy car that has a lot of special things both in the outside and the inside. It's almost perfect, but this car has two problems. The brakes do not work and the steering wheel does not work. That means the car is worth nothing, right? In horsemanship, 70% of the ways of riding that talk about a lot of stuff, hand position, body position, the seat, all these things, at the end, when they ride the horse alone in an open place and the horse disagrees with them, the horse wants to do something and they want to do something completely different. They cannot control the direction, they cannot control the speed, which means they don't have brakes and they are not controlling the steering wheel, which means the way of riding is worth nothing. That's all. So if you are able to control the speed and the direction totally, whenever you want, especially when the horse disagrees with you, this is true horsemanship. But if you control the horse in normal situations, saddle, martingale, closed place, spurs, whip, and when you ride him in a completely different place and he disagrees with you, you totally lose control over him, he bucks you off his back, he bolts, he rears up, that means your way of riding is worth nothing to someone who wants to develop his way of riding. You cannot develop anyone who's already better than you. To develop me, you have to be as good as me or even better. I will learn from you. But if you are much worse than me, how can you develop my way of riding? 70% of the ways of riding in horsemanship these days are much worse than you, believe it or not, if you are a good rider. So they cannot develop anything in your way of riding. So you have to choose the right style or way of riding that can develop and fix your way of riding, instead of choosing a bad one or wrong one, or a way of riding that is much, let's say, less than you or much worse than you. That's my opinion about ways of riding. The result is everything. Of course, when I say the result is everything, I mean the real result, because in my opinion, in horsemanship, the end does not justify the means. How you do it is more important than just doing it, yes, but the real result, I talked about that before, the real result means I can stop him whenever I want, move him whenever I want, control his direction whenever I want, gain his trust and control him when he spooks whenever I want. That means 99% of what he can do is in my pocket, in open places, bareback, no martingale, no spurs, no whip. What else do you need? What else do you want? That result, that kind of result, cannot be achieved with wrong ways or methods of riding. Only good ways can achieve that. So yes, the end does not justify the means in horsemanship. How you do it is more important than just doing it. Now, in this case, you cannot do it unless you do it in the right way. That's all. And when you achieve all that with the horse and someone who rides with a saddle, martingale, spurs, whip, closed place, cold blood horse, and does not control the horse in 50% of the situations you can totally control the horse at, which means he only achieved 30 or 40% of what you achieved, and you achieved 100% of what he achieved, how can he actually believe that you are going to be convinced when he tries to tell you what to do and what not to do? 100% of what he does is achieved by you. At least 60 or 70% of what you do is impossible for him to achieve. How can he expect you to do what he says? How can he expect you to do what he wants you to do? To change your way of riding and do, or let's say, use his way of riding. It makes no sense. So, achieve every single thing he achieved and something extra, then teach him. Otherwise, just leave him alone.